Okay, geometry class. Today should be an easy day. We are learning 4.6, which is isosceles, equilateral, and right triangles. Again, we already learned them in Unit 4. So these are going to be extremely brief notes today, just to jog your memory. And then if you need more detail, you can go back to previous notes, or obviously you can also use your book. Now, real quick, an isosceles triangle. We have a lot of good vocabulary with these. Legs, they are two congruent sides. The base, that is your non-congruent sides. Your vertex angle is an angle formed by the two congruent sides. And a base angle is the angle, let's say, on either end of the base. I think that's going to be the easiest way for you to remember them. Now, on an isosceles triangle, remember you have two congruent sides, and those are the legs. The random non-congruent one at the bottom, down here, that is your base. Angle-wise, where the two legs meet up here at the top, this is your vertex angle. And then across the bottom, where you touch your base, you get your two different base angles. Just so you're remembering the different parts. We also have two little theorems that we learned. The base angles theorem, we abbreviate it BAT. If you have two congruent sides, then the two angles opposite their sides are also congruent. The converse, flip the two parts around. If you are given the two base angles first are congruent, then the two sides opposite the angles are also congruent. Okay, so quick little isosceles review there. Quick review on equilateral triangles. An equilateral triangle, all of your sides are going to be congruent. So in your picture, well, they'll mark all three sides with your congruent markers, and then they will mark all three angles with congruent little angle markers. We have learned that a triangle measures 180 degrees, all three corners. And if all three are congruent, 180 divided by 3 means these are all going to end up being 60-degree angles in all three corners. Now we also have a corollary to our base angles theorem. In this case, if all three sides are congruent, then all three angles across from them are congruent. And in reverse, the corollary to the base angles converse, BAC, if all three angles are congruent, then all three sides are congruent. So it does go back and forth. All right, last but not least, our right triangles. Again, you see the phrase legs. Here, the legs are the sides that form the actual right angle. And then your hypotenuse is the side opposite the right angle. It's also the longest side of the triangle. So if you've got your right angle in your triangle here, the two that are forming it are legs, and the longest one across over here is your hypotenuse. And finally, we had one goodie with our right triangles. We have a special way of proving triangles congruent by hypotenuse leg. We shorten it up a little HL in there. But if you have one hypotenuse and one leg in one triangle, a hypotenuse and a leg in another triangle, then your triangles are congruent. Again, if you need a refresher, you can always watch this video again, or you can refer to the notes that we have already done to help you out. Okay. Happy mathing.